about ready, Kyra? All right, number one. Okay, see, we got an older guy out there taking them longer to pass it out.
I had to cover a larger area than that.
Okay.
Don't blame it on my age.
Okay. All right, well, you got one for yourself? Okay, all right. All right. Number one, Ruth lived in the days when the judges ruled. Ruth lived in the days when the judges ruled. Number two, Ruth and Orpah were both willing to go back to Judea with Naomi. Ruth and Orpah were both willing to go back to Judea with Naomi. Number three, Boaz told Ruth to glean only in his field and not go to another field. Boaz told Ruth to glean only in his field and not go to another field. Number four, Boaz helped Ruth because he knew her before she came to his fields. Boaz helped Ruth because he knew her before she came to his fields. Number five, Ruth had come to trust under the wings of the Lord God of Israel. Ruth had come to trust under the wings of the Lord God of Israel. Number six, Naomi told Ruth to make herself known to Boaz before he ate or drank anything. Naomi told Ruth to make herself known to Boaz before he ate or drank anything. Number seven, all of the people of the city knew that Ruth was a virtuous woman. All of the people of the city knew that Ruth was a virtuous woman. Number eight, Boaz was Ruth's nearest kinsman and was willing to perform the duty of kinsman. Boaz was Ruth's nearest kinsman and was willing to perform the duty of kinsman. Number nine, when the near kinsman redeemed the land, he had to raise up the name of the dead owner of the inheritance. When the near kinsman redeemed the land, he had to raise up the name of the dead owner of the inheritance. Number 10, Ruth became the great-grandmother of David, the king of Israel. Ruth became the great-grandmother of David, the king of Israel. All right, let's trade papers with somebody. All right. Brother Sellers don't have his wife and a copy off of her. And Sister Owens don't have her husband and a copy off of him. So, all right. All right. So let's see how they did by themselves. All right. Wait a minute. All right, time up. Just make your best guess, I reckon. All right, number one. Ruth lived in the days when the judges ruled. True or false? I heard y'all answer mighty soft. I heard somebody say true. All right. What book did we just finish? We just finished the book of Judges. And so they didn't have no king during the book of Judges, did they? And so this came right after the book of Judges. And so they were still during the time when they had judges in the land. They still did not have, and if you remember in the book of Judges, it mentioned that during this time of Israel, they had no king, and every man did what was right in his own eyes. So the answer to number 1 is true. Number 2, Ruth and Orpah were both willing to go back to Judea with Naomi. True or false? That is true. They both was willing to go back. And she told both of them to go back home. And Oprah Winfrey say that her mama was naming her after Oprah and mispronounced it. That's how she ended up with the name Oprah, because she mispronounced the name. But they were both willing to go back. And what did Naomi tell them? Okay, and what else did she say? Why did she tell them to go back? Okay, I hear some. Okay, so give Sister Owens a microphone here. Okay, got too kind of close to her.
She couldn't give the daughter-in-laws any husbands.
Oh, okay. She said, I'm an old woman, and I can't have no children. And say, if I have some, are you going to willing to wait on them until they get grown? So go on back to your family's house, and live your life. And so Oprah did. But what did Ruth tell her? Now, that's one of the most famous quotes in the whole Bible. What she said?
Ruth said, where you go, I go.
Can we get some volume on the microphones, please?
Check.
Whoever is supposed to be up there tonight. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, we got it.
Okay, and the camera, whoever have the microphone, the camera should be on them. Okay.
Ruth said, wherever you go, I'll go. Whomever your God is will be my God. And I don't know what else she said, but anyway,
she was. Your people will be my people.
Your people will be my people. That's the thing.
So she was willing to forsake everything and follow after her mother-in-law. How many got mother-in-laws you love like that you're following? Okay. All right, that's a good thing. Okay, anybody else? Okay, Sister Scott, did you have your hand up?
No, I just said I had a good mother-in-law.
Oh, okay, that's good. All right. That's what Ruth said. Oprah went back home. Number 2 is true, because both of them was willing to go back. And so Naomi talked them. She tried to talk both of them into going back to back home. But Oprah did. But she was willing to go. When Naomi left, they left with her. Okay. When Naomi left, they all left going back to Judah. And Oprah told them, say, why y'all following me? Because I ain't got nothing to offer you. Naomi, I got nothing to offer you. And so Oprah turned around and went back. But Ruth said, wherever you go, I'm going. All right, so the answer is true. Number 3, Boaz told Ruth to glean only in his field and not go to another field. That true or false? True. That is true. I expect everybody to get that one right. Number 4, Boaz helped Ruth because he knew her before she came to his fields. True or false? False. That is false. How did he know her? Oh, okay. Somebody said hearsay. He asked about her. He asked around, who is this woman and why is she here? And so the people told him who she was and how she was connected to Naomi. And so he gave her favor. And I think that's how it started out. But apparently the brother had something else on his mind. Okay. Number 5? Ruth had come to trust under the wings of the Lord God of Israel. True or false? True. That is true. That's what Boaz said, that when he was describing why he helped her, because she said, why are you helping me?
All right, stop. Alex, you didn't answer number 6. Alex. Do you want to answer number 6? Oh, all right.
Okay.
I told you a shot. Now, that's some other folks saying, but I'm just saying, I said,
Okay, before I read it, she's giving you a chance to answer.
give me some.
Okay, all right.
True? Let me put true here.
Okay, he ain't reading one, just said just put 2. True. All right, you made the wrong choice. It's on the 2 choices. It's on the true and false. Okay, number 6 says, Naomi told Ruth to make herself known to Boaz before he ate or drank anything. And the answer is false. She said, you let him eat, drink, and be merry. And don't let him know that you're in there. But then she gave him her instructions. Say that whenever he go to sleep, then you uncover his feet and lay down at his feet. You uncover his feet and lay down at his feet. Don't wake him up. And when the brother woke up and he saw that woman beside him, he said, who is this woman? Who are you? And then she made herself known to him. Naomi knew what to do. So she gave Ruth instructions on what to do. Okay. Number 7. All the people of the city knew that Ruth was a virtuous woman. True or false? True. That is true. How did they know she was a virtuous woman? Why he described her as being a virtuous woman? Okay. Why did he describe her as being a virtuous woman? Did anybody read? Okay. Okay. Yes.
I think they heard how well she was treating her mother-in-law and how she was taking care of her.
Okay. So he told her, say that everybody know how well you've been treating your mother-in-law. And she said they know that you have not been chasing after men, whether they were rich or poor. You have lived a virtuous lifestyle. And so everybody knew everybody's business. And so she said, everybody know that you are a virtuous woman. She's not a loose woman. She's not a woman that's just trying to make a way. But she was a woman that showed herself godly. All right. So the answer to that was true. Number 8. Boaz was Ruth's nearest kinsman and was willing to perform the duty of kinsman. Is that true or false? Okay, somebody saying false. All right, y'all getting indignant, ain't you? Yeah, it is false. It is false because he was not the nearest. He was a near kinsman, but he was not the nearest. He said that there is a near kinsman that is closer, that's nearer than I. And that should be something to do. I see why y'all say, he said he was, because it's a transaction had to take place. Because he had to go to the man that was nearer kin than him in order to redeem him. And what did the guy say, the near kinsman, when he first told him? He said that Naomi have a parcel of land, and her nearest kinsman have a right to redeem it. And he asked the man, do you want to redeem it? So you nearer than I, so you got a right to redeem it. So what did he say? What did the near kinsman say? He said, yeah, I'll take that land. And then what Boaz tell him? You got to take the woman with the land. And not only do you have to take the woman with the land, you also got to raise up a seed for the man whose land you got. See, God Well, you remember when God told the children of Israel over in the book of, what was it, when Exodus, whenever, or it might be Leviticus, when Moses was telling them about dividing the land, he said that the land was meant to be an inheritance for their family forever. It wasn't supposed to just change from ownership to ownership. It was supposed to be whatever family the land was given to, that is who the land was supposed to belong to. But then they left a stipulation in there that the land could be redeemed by somebody that was close, if they had a reason to redeem it. But then they had to raise up children for the person that they redeemed it from, so that the land could still remain in that family. God had it all figured out. Would you use your mic?
I have a question on that. Boaz was really related to Naomi, right?
Right.
All right. So should that be Naomi there? Boaz was Naomi's nearest kinsman in the question.
Well, according to what it's written, it's like since she was Naomi's daughter-in-law, she was still a part of the family.
Oh, okay.
So
All
she
right.
was still recognized as being in the family because she kept saying our near kinsman. That's how she related to it.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Okay. Number 9. When the near kinsman redeemed the land, I already answered that one. When the near kinsman redeemed the land, he had to raise up the name of the dead owner of the inheritance. True or false? True. That's true. That's why the guy say, no, I can't redeem it if I got to do it under those situations, under those terms, because it'll mess up my inheritance. So I don't understand how it would have messed up his inheritance. But he could not redeem it because he didn't want to tie up his own land. And so that's why he wanted the land, but he didn't want the responsibility that came with redeeming the land. The answer is true. Number 10, Ruth became the great-grandmother of David, the king of Israel. True or false? True. That is true. All right. David. I was wondering, until you get to the last sentence of it, you'll wonder what all this has to do with anything pertaining to the children of Israel. Our champion for the year 2025 was Minister Vandella Harris. And we are starting over for January. And we have 5 people last week that made 100. Now, how many made 100 today? All right, First Lady Emily Anderson. All right, Sister Scotty May. Scott. Oh, that's a Scotty Scott. That's a Scott. That's a Scotty Scott. Sister One, you wasn't here last week.
For me,
You just didn't make 100 last week. Yeah, well, you came in second place last year. Y'all made Deacon Bob. Y'all did Deacon Bob good. All right. Got one daughter came in first place and one daughter came in second. All right. Who else got them all right? I ain't got them all right. Yeah. Are you related to those two? Okay. All right. Okay. You got a question? Okay. Give her, Sister Lisa.
Yeah, on number 7, about the question where they said, all the people of the city knew that Ruth was a virtuous woman, but in the reading the scripture, it said that thou art a virtuous woman. I thought that meant that she wasn't one.
Okay, can y'all pull that answer up for me? That is,
That's why I got it wrong.
that's number
7,
chapter 3,
chapter 3.
verse 11.
Yes.
Will y'all pull that up, please? Okay, they done gone to something else. Okay. He said, "And now, my daughter, fear not, I will do to thee all that thou request. For all the city of my people doth know that thou art a virtuous woman." So what's the question? That you are.
That you are?
That thou art.
Okay,
Yeah, that's one of the things about the King James Version. You might have to look at some things because it said the people know that thou art, which would mean that you are a virtuous woman.
Okay, now I got to understand it.
Okay. All right. How many only got one wrong? Okay, that is good. All right. Did anybody online get them all right? We don't
Miss
see it.
Lakeisha.
Ma'am? Sir?
Miss Lakeisha.
Lakeisha? Sister Lakeisha got them all right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Sister Lakeisha Roberts. All right. Well, how many only got two wrong? Y'all make this thing sound like it's harder than what I thought it was. We had two people. Now, I'm just going to tell you. Now, I know that some people would just let they have these smartphones and tablets, and they let the smartphone and the tablet read it to them. I do not believe you get the same understanding or same perception as if you read it yourself. Because when I take my time, I always read by myself. And when I read it, I can read it at a pace where I understand it. And when you just let the smartphone or the tablet read it to you, I don't think you get as much comprehension out of it as you do whenever you just take your time and read it. And it doesn't take all that long because you can read all 5 chapters in one day, easy. So that's what I recommend. Ma'am? Yeah, sometimes when you're looking at the King James Version, and see what I do whenever I have a question concerning the King James Version, it's all right to pull up another version to get clarity and to see what it actually means. But I think that if you read it yourself at your pace, you'll comprehend it better than when you just have the machine read it for you. That's just my concept on it.
As a former teacher, if it's reading it to you, you need to be looking at it and reading along with it, because that helps some people whose comprehension may not be where yours is, but because you're using more than one modality. You're seeing it, you're hearing it, and you are actively involved in it. But now, if you listening to it and then you washing dishes and doing other things, that's, you won't comprehend. But if you looking at it while you read it, that really helps some people if they struggle in reading.
Okay. Well, I think different people comprehend in different ways, like you say. Because even if I'm letting it read it and I'm looking at the words, I still don't. It be moved on while my mind's still on this word. The thing that moved on to some more words. So it helped me just to read it by myself. All right. But like you say, everybody learns. Different people comprehend in different ways. All right. So
we get the pastor.
Ma'am,
Oh, number 6.
I hear somebody saying something on
You need a microphone,
On number 6.
number 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 6 says, Naomi told Ruth to make herself known to Boaz before he ate or drank anything. The answer to that is false. She told her, she said, wash thyself therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor, and make not thyself known unto the man, until he shall have done eating and drinking. Okay. Yeah. Now, like I said, some of those probably do good to look at it in another translation, the NLT or something like that. In addition, if you're serious about the studying, but that's, yeah. Sometimes the King James Version makes it a little more difficult, but I like the King James Version because y'all making out here, it's not as contemporary as some of the others, but I don't like the way some of those others rephrase it, and it's anyway. I just like the King James. I do better with the King James Version. Okay. All right. Do anybody have any other questions or comments or anything, Sister? Pass it to my preaching cousin.
I was wondering, I think it was in chapter 2, why the town was called Bethlehem, Judah. I think it was in chapter 2, and then a little bit later on, it was called, one city was Bethlehem, and another verse it was called Judah.
Yeah, it's sort of like you would say, like Blackshear, Georgia, in one place. In another place, you might just say Blackshear. Because Bethlehem, Judah, I think Judah was sort of the overall area, and Bethlehem, now I could be corrected in that, but I think Bethlehem was actually the name of the town, and Bethlehem, Judah, was the area. That's the way I understood it. But I stand to be corrected if somebody else got a better explanation. But that's the way I understood it, because it did do that. It mentioned Bethlehem, Judah, and then other places just said Bethlehem. So I believe Bethlehem was a part of Judah. Okay. Anybody got anything else that got your attention? I see some sad faces in here tonight. I see some weary-looking faces in here tonight. Okay. But if you read, you are a winner. Because you got something, you got some information. You know something right now about the book of Ruth that somebody been saved for 50 years still don't know because they never read it. So you learned something. It's not in vain. All right, y'all did good. All right, next week, what book are we in next week? 1 Samuel. Now, let me ask y'all something about, this is just kind of, you might come up next week or what is it special about Samuel? Why is he the judge? Samuel was a judge, right? Well, I guess I don't know that. Anyway. Because they still does not have a king. Let me ask y'all this. Who was the first anointed king of Saul. Okay, so when you're reading in the Old Testament, the story goes chronologically along. See, it starts in Genesis, and then it goes from Genesis to Noah, and then from Noah it picks up with Abraham, and then from Abraham it follows from generation to generation. Abraham, Isaac. Abraham had a son named Isaac. Isaac had a son named Jacob. Jacob had the 12 tribes of Israel. See, so it's not just reading a one long story. That's all it is. And so we haven't got to the point where Saul is anointed king yet, so we're still dealing with the days of Judges. Because when Joshua died, then nobody was left in charge of the children of Israel. So the Bible says every man did what was right in his own eyes. And they will stray away from God. And as they stray away from God, and other nations will come in and dominate them and take their land, make slaves out of them. And the Bible says, and then they cried unto the Lord. And when they cried to the Lord would send them somebody, would send them a judge. And the judge would hear from God, and the God would deliver them out of the hands of their enemy. And once, as long as that judge was alive, then they followed after God. But when that judge died, they didn't have no succession plan, and so every man went back to doing what was right in his own eyes. And when you start doing what's right in your own eyes, you're going to get straight away from God. And when you get straight away from God, you open up the door for the enemy. And so whenever they open up the door for the enemy and they begin to get in conflict again and they begin to put in bondage again, the Bible says, then they cried unto the Lord and he will hear them and he will send them another judge. So that's how they end up with judge after judge after judge. Now when we get over in Samuel, we're going to find out the children of Israel got tired of the judges. And I'm just going to tell you now, Samuel was the last of the judges. Samuel anointed a king. The people wanted a king, so Samuel anointed them a king. And God told Samuel, said, don't feel bad because they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting me. Because see, as long as the judge was there, the judge got his orders from God. But then when the judge died, there was nobody to take, so they wanted somebody going to be a succession planner. So they wanted a king. They wanted a man over them, like the other nations. And so that's how it is. So be careful when you're reading in the book of Samuel. It is a very good book, but you'll read, you'll see, all it is just a story, a long story. Just keep going all the way from one person to the next person, from one century to another generation to another generation. And so that's why it's important that we read and find out, because God made a covenant with Abraham, and the covenant passed down from Abraham to Isaac, from Isaac to Jacob, and from Jacob to the 12 tribes of Israel. And that's how God established a covenant with them. Out of all the nations of the world, they became God's covenant partner. All right? Y'all doing good because you're reading. Okay? Okay? Okay, y'all make me look like the bad guy. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to point out how significant it was that Ruth, how she just took to Naomi that way. And I know it was all in the plan of God, because Ruth was a Moabite. And she wasn't from the children of Israel. But it is, to me, it's apparent that Naomi must have continued to talk about her God, even after those boys died and everything. And Ruth believed in her God.
That's right.
And was willing to follow her. I just thought that was so commendable that she would do that. And it was not like Naomi had wealth to take care of both of them.
That's right.
She didn't have anything tangible to offer her, but she did have her God to offer.
That's right. And try to kind of keep track of what's going on. Because see, what about the Moabites? Do y'all remember anything about them when the children of Israel were coming into the promised land?
They didn't want them to pass through their land. And in the Moabites connected to Esau?
No, that's a different group.
Oh, okay.
Ma'am?
They're connected to Lot. Lot's son.
Yeah, the Moabite, they're connected to Lot. One of his. But the thing about the Moabites was, you remember that the king hired a prophet to curse Israel, Balaam. Yeah, now it was the king of Moab that hired Balaam to curse the children of Israel, because they had already seen what the children of Israel had done, how they were taking over the lands, whatever they came through. And so he told Barak, says, whatever you curse is cursed, whatever you bless is blessed. So I want you to go down there and curse him. And he told him, I can't curse what God blessed. And so he said, well, try. And so he tried 2 or 3 times. And every time he tried to curse him, he ended up saying a blessing on him. But then he gave them some information to trap the children of Israel. See, but Balak, the prophet, he told the king, send some Moabite women down there in the camp. And that'll turn the heart of the men away from God. And he gave them that plan. And so it was Moabite women that polluted the children of Israel. And so that was another thing about with Ruth being a Moabite woman, is why some would have resented her. But because of her character, then they recognized her and her love for her mother-in-law. All right.
I wanted to point out two things. One thing about when they did the agreement, as far as the kinsman, he took his shoe off
Yeah.
to seal the deal. I thought that was really weird.
Yes, that was. And that was a custom. They didn't sign no contract. What he did was he got the near kinsman, and he got about 10 or 12 other witnesses. And when the kinsman said, no, I can't redeem it, he had to pull his shoe off and give it to Boaz as a sign that he would. And you know, when you brought that up, it made me think about, you remember whenever John the Baptist was talking about Jesus? He said, whose shoes I am not worthy to unlatch. In other words, I am not worthy to take his place. See, so whenever Boaz was taking their kinsman's place by receiving his shoe, and John the Baptist says, I'm not worthy to even loose his shoes. So that goes right back. I think it kind of goes right back to that same thing. That's good. Okay.
So the kinsman redeemer is also related to Jesus, right? Is Jesus, is that like talking about, like type and shadow of Jesus, the kinsman redeemer?
That sounds good to me. That sounds good to me. I've heard people refer to him as being the kinsman redeemer, and so that sounds good. Okay. All right. I love y'all. Y'all still love me? Okay. Some say yes and some didn't say nothing. Okay. All right. All right. We appreciate y'all so much. Okay, yeah. Sister Owen reminded me about to take up the offering. If you will, we're going to dismiss our Facebook family and our YouTube family, and it says, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for as much as you know your labor is not in vain in the Lord. All right. Thank y'all for joining us. All right. Let's receive our offering, because it is the seed that you sow that produce the harvest that you reap. If you don't sow a seed, you don't have a right to expect a harvest.